I ran. I must feel like the anxiety in my chest is about to consume me whole. My past, memories, and all things I have overcome. I must scrounge them all together to save Hotra. But how? The emotions stolen from you are stored in this library. Take them back by reaffirming your memories. And then you will once more come face to face with your initial point of doubt. My doubt. Why did you take up the shield? There must have been hard moments. You must have fought it painful. There must have been more despair than hope. So why did you never let go of that shield? Even now it rests and grows even heavier. This may not be what me on the outside wishes, but personally, I want you to resolve this doubt. Why did I never let go of the shield? I take a book from one of the bookshelves, and as I do, memory returns to me in vivid detail. My first memory flames. My body crushed, my blood spilled. An impact of such magnitude that pain is no longer applied. Each second that passed, my death grew closer. It was then that my hands were taken into another's shaking grasp. That's my first memory. In that moment, what was it that I felt? Please, if nothing else, make me able to save this kind of person. I think I was almost praying to something. That's right, back then I prayed even though I knew my wish wouldn't come true. I felt a slight anger at myself for being so weak and helpless. It was anger, but also at the same time, it was sadness at what I had lost. Right, anger and sadness. I'm sure those were the things that I had with me then. Right, the intense motion that lit my body up from the inside was anger. And the feeling of my body being constricted from within, that was sadness. I must keep going. I must take back my emotions, take back what I felt back then. Swapped out from the front row, Lamo. He says she cannot be swapped out. How dare you? It is all the singularity opponents, ain't it?
ぬ岩窟の底に隠されし神秘、陰秘の究極たる炎、今ここにパラディシャトーデフ食らえ。遅い、脆い、薄い、弱い。絶望する。それが地獄だ。
パラドクセルテストセット。なんだ
ぬるい。
確かこ
うか。岩窟の底に隠されし神秘、陰秘の究極たる炎、今ここにパラディシャトーデフ。
受け止めます。左手収束。最大ダメージお任せください。了解。了解。はあ。神明東映保管。これは多くの道、多くの夢をすべて人間の証明せよ。ロードキャメロット。有効レンジ入りました。バーニア突撃します。ターンはっはっはっ。
岩窟の底に隠されし神秘、陰秘の究極たる炎、今ここにパラディシャトーデフ。ほう。
バンカーボンドリロード。了解。気やすいな。
ぬるい。
はあ。海よ海よ、我が愛しき北欧の海、我が海よ、ここにその可能性を見せよ。
逃がさん。
オルテナウス疑似リンク解除。誰であれ戦うことはないよ。神明東映保管。これは多くの道、多くの夢をすべて人間の証明せよ。ロードキャメロット。
救世主の山に隠されし伝説、神なき人々が見る絶パラディシャトーデフ。ぬすぜ
任せください。時短そう了解。ブーストストライク。これでどうだ。
But Mash can't die.戦うブーストストライク。おごりであっても高らかに、いつか必ずなくしたものに報いるために、導きの星よ、力となれ。
海よ海よ、我が愛しき北欧の海、我が海よ、ここにその可能性を見せよ。そうなんだ。
左収束。最大ダメージお任せください。一歩了解。時短装填済みです。ブーストストライク。これでどうだ。スライドスマッシュ。ハイアングルトランスファー。了解。時短装填済みです。はあ、フル回転。確かこうか。オルテナンス疑似リンク解除。神明投影補完。これは多くの道、多くの夢を過ぎた運動の死。証明せよロードキャメロット。
遥か遠けき思いたち、今なお残る神々の愛よ。さあここよりゲートオブエーギル。我が愛しき命たち、我が麗しきあまたの水よ。さあ今こそゲートオブエーギル。そうか、なんだいい子だ。楽しめ。
時短装填一歩了解。一歩前にブーストストライク。フル回転。これでどうだ。バーニア突撃します。
もう終わりか。なんだつまらぬな。
There's a second wave? Oh. That's gonna be tough. All I can get away with this is probably because they're a drop. Why did you take up the shield? Why did I? Because of anger, because of sadness, because of happiness, because of hope. Not out of sense of duty, not because I was ordered to. My emotions, my own will screamed at me to take up the shield. Yes, that's right, I can say with certainty that my journey was not unsentimental. There was always a glimpse of hope on the other sides of whatever the spirit allowed me. And so I took up the shield because I wanted to protect those close to me. That was the first step, overcoming despair. I was able to embark on my journey. That's right. It was because I always felt like I had been protected. I wanted to protect others. And with that wish, I took up the shield. Head to the next bookshelf, to the second Holy Grail, War of Earth, born from the bleaching phenomena. My next mirror ice. Everything frozen, everything gone. I was so sad. It felt like my soul has been cut to pieces. The lost spells worlds with history different from ours. With our survival at stake, I endured the sadness and kept fighting. I met countless people, I learned countless things, and each one carved a new emotion into me. If someone asked me if it was hard or not, I would have to answer that it definitely was. But still, yes, even so, I remained together with my shield. Why? Because I wanted to protect everyone in Kyoto. Because he had once protected me, I wanted to protect him, not out of obligation. But because of them, who I loved from the bottom of my heart, because of the world that I lived in. There wasn't just happiness that comes out of it after all protecting someone. Also means having hurt someone else. Oh no, it's Arjuna. It's a threat to me.
Ordeal, 誰も見たことのない世界にカズラチャレンジちゃんとできます。誰も見たことのない世界にちゃんとできます。 われてください。逆説融合、かけらを集めてさなぎは蝶に変身する。お待たせマスター、これが私の究極体、アトムに暮らす無理やグッド。よっやっそれ着物のシミになっちゃえ。カズラチャレ、誰であれ、いずれはあなたもちゃんとできます。逆説融合、かけらを集めてさなぎは蝶に変身する。お待たせマスター、これが私の究極体、アトムに暮らす無理やグッド。私もこんな風に。オルテナウス、疑似リンク解除。優しいんですね。おごりであっても高らかに、いつか必ずなくしたものに報いるために。導きの星よ、力となれ。弱いからと侮りましたね。一匹残らず私のおもちゃ。泣いても元には戻れませんよ。お先に失礼します。ピンチ、チャンスに。月のかけらを集めるように。楽しい時間はあっちにちゃんとできます。弱いからと侮りましたね。一匹残らず私のおもちゃ。泣いても元には戻れませんよ。秘密の箱ですね。新しいお召し物。着物のシミになっちゃえ。オルテナウス、全機能解放。元気いっぱいですね。お茶優しいんですね。ルーヤーの私だって綺麗でしょ。カメは棒よ。繊維の上に落ちてくださる。いつか私もこんな風に狙いを定めて。楽しい時間を始めましょう。見ていてくれます？ちゃんとできます。妖精すがらく虫かご遊戯。ほらほら早く逃げないとノルマの虫は潰しちゃうぞ。秘密の箱ですね。よっやっそれ。カズラチャレンジ、ちゃんと優しいんですね。空間ごとミクロの世界に変えてあげます。どんなに強い相手でも私の前ではこの通り。人呼んで 的マジックショー。綺麗でしょ。1、2、3。繊維の上に落ちてくださる。
Ooh, I missed.
やった。被害想定内です。ナイスファイトでした、先輩。
Why do you take up the shield? To protect. Why do you throw away the shield? To not be forever. Why do you refuse to become an arbiter? Because my feelings are biased, and that bias can never be corrected. That is what my reclaimed emotions are telling me. But that being so, I cannot become a ruler, and I cannot remain a shooter. And then where to shall I go? Habitat. I want to save Habitat. I am the one who only can. So maybe I really do have to become a servant. I sense a strange scent, warm and somehow nostalgic, one that doesn't belong to this place. Ah, you're awake. I brewed some coffee, care to pour a cup. As you discussed, be sure to gather your thoughts first. When it comes time for you to speak. Yeah, if you just say whatever comes to mind, you'll probably jump on it. Always be sure what you say when speaking your mind or performing a counter-argument. Got it. Of course, everything will be ruined if we get our appeal overruled. At this stage anyway. All the work we've been doing will simply be flushed down the drain. No, it doesn't work that way. She may be stern, but she's honest. Our appeal will be accepted 100%. Now let's go. So you come. We are here to present an appeal out of protest against your ruling. In regards to the charges against the free from Kodea, Yuki Mashkirlite and Kata Exemplis. I didn't expect you to return alive, much less force your way into this court. Oh, I'm quite sure you expected this outcome, Metatronius. You believe we would soon have another trial involving our clients. Nonsense, it seems you have basis for this claim. I do. Your sentence of exile is proof. Properly speaking, they should have all been executed. That was the best solution, but you could not bring yourself to carry it out. You were unable to judge Kodea to be deserving of death because of your sense of fairness. Perhaps that was subconscious judgment, one you yourself weren't aware of. continue. You have to be thinking that Kedo needs to be fully defeated. The fact is that they are still alive and now here facing you again. So this time you must hand down the most definite punishment. And also that exposing their sin is crucial for next humanity development. Which is why we must hold this trial. At least that's what I think. It seems like I've been right about this so far, at any rate. Though if I were proven wrong at this crucial stage, that'd just be bad comedy. Very well, present your appeal. Phew, exactly as I thought it would go. Hehe, well done, morality. Here is our petition to appeal. Your appeal is accepted. Kotomi Kiri. The presiding prosecutor has already arrived. Court shall begin in 10 minutes. Defense, if I may have a moment. By all means. Yuki. The shielded magic light remains inside my nose phantasm. I see. Consequently, her hearing will be postponed for now. Pan-human history is a priority for this trial, Prosecutor Kotomini. You seem tired. Was the battle against King Ahsoka so trying? He does have a heart. I would have thought he might have gone easy on you. They show commando strength enough for me to allow them through. Pardon my rudeness. Then that would mean you are unwounded. So are you still able to fight? Of course we can. And here he is, my future distant rival, my nemesis. Nothing to say to me, is there? Well, I have nothing to say to you either. Actually, I suppose I do. I can't speak for the future me, but as I am now, we are mutual strangers. Ever since I was summoned, not a day has gone by where I haven't thought of you in some fashion. But that all changed when the Master Kyodea informed me of what transpired in Tron. Sherlock Holmes, listen to what I have to say. As I'm no apostle of the alien god, I couldn't know what the me over there was thinking. But I am here to pay you back for my defeat at your hands. Only for the sake of my own pride, mind you, not recompense. Though shrug is unbecoming. It's nothing the matter. Morality. No, it's nothing. Regardless of what has transpired before, from here on we fight battle words. Come, Kotomi Kiri, you now enter my domain. And so you say, but are words really all you had to present? My defense may not be deep, but it's substantial. Now let's be ready. Then I too shall get my preparation in order. What's the point of that? We just fancy some shows.
遠くのものは小さく見える。なら小さなものが遠くにいるってことですよね。原子核まで小さくない。動いていいと言いますか？干物の炭になっちゃえ。いずれはあなたも遠 くのものは小さく見える。なら小さなものは遠くにあるってことですよね。原子核まで小さくない必要なだけの栄養はいただきました。次はもう少しいじめがいのある相手を。
For a second, I thought I saw RPG firing, but I'm probably imagining things. Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, we're just seeing things. This will interfere with the trail. I shall return to the gate. Thank you, King Ahsoka. Thanks for looking out for us. The defense prosecution finished their preparation very well. Court is now in session. This trial is the most exceptional one. As I have previously declared, there are two sins on which to educate. Furthermore, both are closely intertwined with one another. It would be better to proceed with trying the two concurrently rather than separate them individually. Such is my decision. I believe the plaintiff and defendant alike are aware of this prerequisite. Then are there any differing opinions? None for the plaintiff, Your Honor. The defense has no particular objection either, Your Honor. And as I have stated before, this is not a criminal or civil trial, but a trial between mankind's. There is no need for adhere to a formal structure like a trial conducted by ordinary humans. The defendants and plaintiff are free to state their respective cases. Head human history as well as Kadea will be the defendants, while this planet will be the plaintiff. Are there any problems? Far more than a few. Saying so won't get us anywhere. This is trial, it's a battle of logic where we have to pursue after all. Call the planet the plaintiff. It's nuts enough as it is. It's essentially us versus Kotomini in Metatron. Then there should be no issues, prosecute Kotomini. Right, then let us restart the trial. To do so, let's begin with a review. Kadea's sin is one against humanity. You have traveled through the 7 lost belts, erasing their histories and allowing the people living there. 7 human histories with populations that can no longer be observed, which is where she, the judge, made a proposal. The eraser and disposal of pan-human history. And until the next humanity comes to be born, it will be our atonement to watch over what remains. There is no need to submit evidence unless you mean to repudiate a sin on such a massive scale. Defense. Well then, I'll start. First, we should confirm all the facts. The disappearance of the lost belts. Those are a fact. As well as the disappearance of those residing in each. Those are also a fact. However, Your Honor, to categorize all of the above as Kadea's crimes is something which we would raise strong objections. Correct, because the extinction of the lost belts themselves were inevitable. There are 2 main reasons that led each one perishing. First, that the lost belts are human histories that will eventually reach a dead end, enemy prudent events. Second, that due being dead end histories, a number of distortions were observed within the lost belt. One lost belt collapsed prematurely, another had reached a definite stalemate. In any event, a lost belt is a world that has reached a dead end. Kadea is not the cause of every ill turn. Why now? So it's permissible to kill off a weak world that is soon to perish. Are you suggesting that then acceptable to kill any who are elderly or invalid, so long as their prospects are in doubt? Objection, that phrasing cannot be more biased. Objection sustained. The prosecuting counsel must be more mindful of his word. Understood. Now then, Yuki, are you in full agreement with those views? Good. Your answer is defended is Kyriki, not through your attorneys. Breathe deep and open your mouth. And never get it because they're drop support. Only BB.
この姿の私に見つかるなんて日頃からよっぽど運がないんですね。お気に入りメタッといつか私もこんな風にイズパちゃんとできます。遠くのものは小さく見えるなら小さなものは遠くにあるってことですよね。原子核まで小さくない新しいお召し物繊維の海に落ちてくださる。
先人に学ぶとし
誰ちゃんとできまそう優しいんですね。甘く見ないで。大人になれば BB だって超えられます。指が私の知恵は世界に隠す。原始的まで落ちてみます。パズル完成です。
試練の時だ。
カズバあっち見ていてくれます？逆説融合かけらを集めてさなぎは蝶に変身する。お待たせました。これが私の究極体頭にクロス無理アフット。お先に失礼しますよっよっそれ繊維の海に落ちてくださる。
立ち上がれ。まだ早い。ここで終わることは許さんぞ。
Prosecuting aim is perhaps to establish the intent to kill. That candidate had such in mind while burying the lost pulse, and so would be considered crime. But none of you had, did you? Considering the result, maybe. The results are what they are, but you were in no position to stop. After all, stopping meant an end to everything. Prosecutor Kamui ought to take the bait we've been laying out. If he does, we should be able to shift the focal point of discussion to where we intend. Yes, the flow there will lead to our chance at victory. From here on, I will practice our expected cross-examination with the prosecution. We never believed killing those people was warranted. Indeed. Does this mean the opinion of this defendant and his attorneys are not in alignment? Not at all, Your Honor. We're in full agreement. Precisely, I don't think it's okay at all to kill freely and so on. Then you deny any intent to kill. Yes, of course he does. After all, there's no intent to kill in Korea. They were simply trying to talk. Really, dialogues were attempted, were they? However, in Russia, Tsar Ivan the Terrible was raging with tyranny, making negotiation impossible. I have a witness for this as well, for which I would like to cross-examine KyECtnz. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Yes, I swear. KyECtnz, was it impossible for negotiation to be held in Russia? It was, even the Terrible considering them enemies, and what's more, it was the Orferniki who had attacked Korea. Once Korea had sided with the rebels, negotiation with even Terrible were possible. Your own spurring things on must have contributed as well. Of course it did, but that was my own reasoning, not Korea's. I'm a creditor. As a fact, I want everyone to remember. I see, that will account for Russia. But what of Scandinavia or perhaps? Now caught up. The Fairy Kingdom. The other name for the sixth lost spell. Yes, since I wasn't directly involved, I'm not familiar with the details. I will direct this towards the defendant once again. Okay, please speak up on account for the KyECtnz. In the Fairy Kingdom head, Korea head. In any case, as long as Queen Morgan rules, all the face stands to die out by the end of the year. I don't know how the regime of child prophecy would change the way the things stand. But if there are any fairies who wish to relocate to the outside world, I ask that you accept them. Even though our Britain may come to disappear, I have no greater hope than to see fairies born here being able to live on in your world. I need the opinion of our technical advisor. It's a very interesting proposition, to be sure. You don't have any reason to turn you down. The Storm Border can accept up to 500 refugees. The location will have to wait until after we solve the problem of the Earth bleaching phenomenon. But there's no problem with that many staying on the border. That was its original purpose anyway. Call it Noah's Ark Resource. There are some ships in Panhuman history whose purpose was to preserve life forms for the future. But I do not see these 500 fairies living in Korea. That's correct. No one followed through on Division's proposal, did they? Your Honor, whether the aforementioned proposal was followed through on or not isn't relevant. The key point is whether there was the intent to save them. A doctor administered proper treatment to a dying person and still cannot save them. They should not be held culpable. In addition, for this fact, we would like to present another argument and assert that no sins at all were committed by Korea. Quite audacious. Very well, defense may proceed. Good. We did it. Hey, you mentioned the following regarding your assertion prosecution proximity. A weak world that is soon to be perished, both the plaintiff and the defendant have come to an agreement on this matter. The defense would like this causers to be to repeat it accordingly. The which we by extremists assert the conditions are those of the plant of carinates. Once upon a time in ancient Greece, a ship suddenly encountered storm at sea. The crew were left helplessly drowned. However, someone managed to desperately cling for their lives to the ship's broken planks. Among them was the man. The plank he held was very small and unsteady. If just one more person clung to his plank, both would have drowned together. All of them would drown together. This is the man who was the sole survivor was placed on trial. He committed homicide, however, he was acquitted by the trial's conclusion. This is Article 47 of the Penal Code in modern Japan. No act performed to avert danger to the life of oneself or any other person is punished, even if illegal. This includes murder in the event one's life is in danger. That was kind of short. Well, I haven't expected you to bring out the plank of carnates. Yes, that's right. Speaking logically, one would have to conclude as much. Logically, you say, then allow me to make a logical decision here. To those of you in Korea extremists, does not apply. Hole in your grounds. There's a difference in numbers. The number of survivors in Korea amount to about 10 at present. In contrast, no matter how small the lost boats records, the population cannot all be compared. In addition, there were 7 lost boats. Is it truly extremist to save one world, the cost of destroying 7? Quite so, because pan-human history would have perished had the lost boat not been destroyed. An extremist, in other words, destroying them was unavoidable. Is this against the will of God, or perhaps against your own will? I would like your answer, your honor. That it would be unavoidable because you were on the verge of an allegation is something obviously within the scope of extremists. Every living has the right to resist their own plights, provided the claim of being unavoidable is true. And I believe the defense claims is not correct, not when pan-human history has already perished. Objection. Oh, an objection to what? Do you mean to say that pan-human history has not yet perished? Consider the current situation, however. The planet has been bleached, and humanity has all but disappeared. The texture of the planet has been replaced by massive substitution magecraft. Humanity besieged has nearly faded to nothing. What else would you call us if not extinction? Yuki. Kai's aim is to reinstate pan-human history. Reinstate, really? Indeed, it is reinstatement. This sort of thing is more Shakespeare's specialty, but yeah, many trials have been overcome and completed by people. They have mended the deep wounds inflicted upon the jewel of the human order. Yeah, and so shall they go to the kingdom of heaven, to its greatest height. In the land of salvation shall the people sing and dance. Hallelujah. I guess that's the gist of it. Suddenly something gets him singing low. If you prefer, I have musical style script. That would not be necessary. This is interfering with that trial. I suppose so. Really, the reinstatement of pan-human history. You would return it exactly the way it was. At the very least, Kai should be moving towards that conclusion. And from what I observed, the possibility is extremely high. Kai having traversed the 7 lost boats and correcting too many singularities to count. They will restore the world of pan-human history unless you have James Morty guaranteed. Supposing a lawyer words guarantee for anything. That too is true after all. Defense is the attorney's task. It was a touching speech, so can we not at least have smattering to applause? The priest mentioned in passing that the lost boats were traversed. Do you not mean exterminated? I would consider this manner of secret coding to be unforgivable, speaking as human. Human, huh? Sure, human. Spoken by the least human person in this trial. Hey, come on, don't get me laughing during your trial, mysterious. Please refrain from private conversations. We're sorry. While putting aside the semantics, these were, after all, nothing more than acts intended to forge a better tomorrow. How did I know pan-human history permanently asserts its innocence? If all life has rights to live, if all worlds have the right to live, then there should be no reason to squander their last chance to live, and no one should have the right to interfere. Tomorrow is it? If I may make an inquiry, Your Honor. Go ahead. A better tomorrow is a concept both vague and ambiguous. There may have been such a turmoil in the Lost Belts to destroy it. It's mere discussion of potentialities. Let's focus on the reality that lies before us. Kyoto has destroyed the Lost Belts. Surely you wouldn't claim those Lost Belts live on in our hearts, would you? Just saying so would be the end of it. Kyoto ought to destroy in order to ensure the survival of pan-human history and the human order. That may perhaps be an act of evil, however, it cannot possibly be a crime. Evil and yet not criminal, is that your argument as a defense counsel? Precisely. It is extremist, yet not morally correct. It is evil, yet not criminal. Objection is a crime. Starting from the year 2017. Lost Belts are worlds that have survived, while pan-human history is a world that had already perished. Worlds that have not perished or destroyed by one that has. This is a sin deserving of punishment. From the first Lost Belts to the 7th, there had been opportunities for all the Lost Belts to survive. However, the ones alive today are representing an unquestionably terminated world. And we asserted earlier that these amounted to dead end worlds. If we were to use plank of carnates, they couldn't grab hold. Whether we are dealing with one world or 7, the result is the same. The sin is no worse for it. I would like to make something clear, Your Honor. We should be discussing whether or not destroying a world is a sin. If such were the case, would the number of worlds not be relevant? No, the number of counts in relation to the sin's weight. It is impossible to find atonement after destroying 7 worlds. It may indeed be as you say, but only in the event of whether destroying a world could be a condemnable crime. Killing one person were prosecuted as a crime, then killing 100 would surely tie into the crime's severity. However, if that killing is deemed legal in a specific environment, then killing that 100 would no longer be an issue, would it? A somewhat proximate metaphor, Dante Alighieri. Agreed. However, to interpretation of defense, the Trinity Dante is sound. The number of worlds destroyed cannot serve as the grounds for guilt or innocence. Whether or not they were destroyed, or whether or not destroying them is a sin, this is what should be addressed before all else in this trial. Defense counsel should refrain from inappropriate inquiries. Yes, Your Honor. Understood, then if I may explain why destroying them is a sin. Earlier, defense stated that the Lost Belts were dead-end worlds. But is that not true for pan-human history as well? We made it. Yes, and therein lies our greatest hurdle. If it's proper to consider that Lost Belt as worlds made in dead ends and ensure to serve a pan-human history, edificating as such would be counter according to and how Dante. Ain't your world perished, bro? He would argue that. Not phrased quite the same. In other words, the prosecution certain is that the destroyed Lost Belts in our world are rare the same standing. And to make our jobs harder, you both agree, don't you? Yes, we do. You can see that because of being put in that position that they survived all the way to this point. Yes, and that is without doubt the ideal. You all wouldn't have survived this long otherwise. However, it's no different than exposing your backs to Prosecutor Kotomini, by which I mean he gladly plant knives there. Oh yeah, he stabbed us, alright. He totally would. Hey, an inscribed personality. Now, normally I would lie through this. I simply need to prove that pan-human history is superior to the Lost Belts. If it's a matter of fabricating evidence, I'm your man. As long as I have the ground to gain, I can surely whip something up. But well, that's not the way to go, is it? That would be distasteful, would it not? And if so, is that the strategy you want to take? Wait a minute, is that really the way to go? If it's necessary, should we come up with fabrications or lies? There are two logical reasons not to do so. First, if the client wishes otherwise, then we will simply fight his case in that direction. Second, when you become a judge, you can easily see through the falsehood of others. The negative impression left by telling a lie is immeasurable. I see. So you're going to say that there's no difference? Of course, and I answer honestly. Well, I won't be lying. I can still speak words that are much the same as untruths. That's what makes language so interesting. Truths and falsehoods alike can be flipped on their head. That gives us one thing to be cautious of this. Techniques is one that Kotomini likewise uses. So I understand this. The purpose of the prosecutor is not to prove the full account of things, or the truth, but to guide you to the conclusion the prosecution has set. Therefore, every statement has state matter design behind it. He'll lead there and make you believe in his truth using his words. What we are about to engage is the battle with such rules. Indeed, you're right. There may be no difference between the Lost Boats and the Pending History. Oh? Justice is not necessary with the winner, nor is the loser necessary evil. Yes, and in spite of all that survived is Pending History. And you wish the sin to be forgiven. Not to forgive, we want you to instead recognize it. It is a question of probability. With the Lost Boats earlier gone from this barren planet, along with Pending History, is there really any chance for the next form of life to be born? To place one's hope in such a remote probability is that anything more than uncertain outlooks for the future. I petition answer from you, Your Honor. In a sense, but there is no denying that uncertainty. However, my belief is simply that Pending History is a sin. Any uncertainties are no concerns. What? Therefore, it was destroyed by divine punishment. I look forward to the life that is to come. Why? Why take such measure? There is not the slightest trace of logic to be found there. How can this be? Nazi, what have you figured out? No, this shouldn't be. It can't be. It's not possible. Answer me, Nazi, what have you understood? Your expression is because you figured out Yuki. She hates it. What? I do hate mankind, Pending History, everything to do with it. I wish for its eraser because I detest it all. I believe this loathing of mine to be shared by God Almighty. That just what? No wonder Yuki was at such a loss for words. Will be too. She hates us. It's so egoism out of tune with her ruler nature. But she's got dominion over the singularity and all the trouble that brings, plus along as the court ruling are in her hands. So you're saying the decision was biased against us from the very beginning. I'm at a loss. This goes beyond expectations. I never thought that part about judges needing to be impartial would be overturned as a premise. I have one question, Your Honor. Very well. Would you, as presiding judge, be acting on behalf of the Lord's will? Is it not obvious? My will and the Lord's are one and the same. I should think they are not. Say that again? The singularity, this courtroom, and this trial are to extraordinary degree pervaded with your will. To conflate it with that of the Lord is quite disgraceful. Now shall we continue with the trial? Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Kotomini? It looks as though the judge is really angry. I am a servant of God before all else. If her will is the will of the Lord, then I am serving her and not him. Setting the trial aside, would that not be a matter of we're making a protest? I'll say again, my will is the will of God. That is how it must be, my capacity as ruler. That can't be right, Archangel who severed us into halves. I expected you to interject. It's a hassle that wears me down, but no matter how slothful I get, I can't overlook what you just said. You've already mistaken the will of the lords with that of your own. I would not recognize that. The sloth that you should be discarded, in the shell that is I should be perfect. And that is your mistake. You are perfect as far as controlling the singularity goes. No servant stand a chance of defeating you. Even the laws of other worlds fail to apply in this singularity, when you can kill them off with a snap of fingers. But you only become a perfect is that by discarding me, the sloth that I am. But that too is now edited in. Be silent. Very well. This trial is hereby suspended. Once more I will pass down the sentence of exile. You're so pissed, oh dear. 1 moment please, that will invalidate this trial. Your Honor, I mean Metatron, you should hold off that. If you do this, you won't be able to bear your own foolishness, will you? On the contrary, I have no regrets. You will all perish, and I will wait for a new humanity. And when they do arrive, they will complete the process of succeeding you. Only then will our sins and damnation finally come to an end. I see, if you've always been so intent on your own destruction, what room is there for regrets? To all first through third orders, the 2 from Korea and their cohorts are sent into exile. Goodness, what sort of temper tension is this? From who is meant to be an archangel? Nonetheless, perhaps this was inevitable. It places her hopes in the unknown prime species of pan-human history doom. And yet it's precisely the side that has met its doom that refuses to accept it. Now then, shall I relent you and hand people of Korea? We're grateful for it. Very well, then I shall play a part. Then you all share the same sin. You may meet destruction together. All said, Master, you definitely can't win it in a battle. Just cause her to flinch, if nothing else, once you do, I'll work something out. Something like what? Something could be anything. Then here we go. Oh, one more thing. One more thing, I had fun in a lot of ways. Yeah, so it is goodbye. Metatron. Okay, here goes.
追放刑、あてもなくさまようことが正しき罪のあがないです。
ただ星よ、
試練の時だ。これはよろしい。いい機会だ。
問題ありません。問題ありません。そこまで。なんだ
これは。
問題ありません。どうして。
この程度は
問題ありません。ただ光に。
いい機会だ。
ね。さらわれてください。問題ありません。ささやかに。どうして。1600。お気に入り。いつか私もこんな風に。
先人に学ぶとしよう。
誰も見たく誰もあっち見といてくれます。新しい嬉しい空間ごとミクロの世界に変えてあげます。どんなに強い相手にも私の前ではこの通り。人呼んでネテンクスマジックショーよっやっ。問題ありません。繊維の海に落ちてください。問題ありません。そこまで。力足らずか。問題ありません。
リテカーチーズポーラスティ。
本当に
悔い改めよ、打ち砕かれよ。悪しき者、欺く者を私が招く。ハミールイナースオースパチ
問題ありません。ただ星よ。保釈。どうして。どうじゃあ
月が見えている。いい、よろしく。これは。
問題ありません。
そこだ。
問題ありません。せいぜい勝ち誇ってサンティモンキリントゥーフィー。
祝祭を始める。
いいですよ。
悔い改めよ、打ち砕かれよ。悪しき者、欺く者を私が招く。ハミールイナースオースパチだ。
蹴散らしたどうしてすぐったいですね。そこまで。すぐったいですね。堕落しましょうか。
これは
問題ありません。問題ありません。拒否します。ただ光に。問題ありません。
説法は嫌いかな。
出力を上げます。リリンが騒いでいますね。どうぞ。はい。
祝祭を始めよう。
羽ばたきは静かに。蹂躙なさい。
夜の影、獣のうなり、死の毒の犬どもよ。
これも
今こそ声高く笑うがいい。
そこまで拒否します。約束。集結なさい。
いい機会だ。攻撃。
断絶せよ。問題ありません。
試練の時だ。よろしい。祝祭を始めよう。これは星が苦痛、苦悩、死を食う蛇、生きる糧、くべる薪に集いたまえ。ザジガーニエ、アンリマイ。
問題ありません。
もう休みたまえ。
ただ秩序のために。
よろしい。いい。これは星が
問題ありません。問題ありません。もう集結なさい。
これは見てか。これは星が苦痛、苦悩、死を食う蛇、生きる糧、くべる薪に集いたまえ。ザジガーニエ、アンリマイ。歩くいく。
問題ありません。
背後から
問題ありません。
説法は嫌いか。月が見ている。よろしい。攻撃。夜の影、獣のうなり、死の毒の犬どもよ。今こそ声高く笑うがいい。遠くから知っている。
問題ありません。
私はここまでだ。いい。これは攻撃。
問題ありません。問題ありません。問題ありません。無意味な。祝福、輝き、
翼宝石音調王冠あまねく不正義に介入せよユニベールイモルテルメタトロン
Doctor. Good morning, Mash. Have some tea ready as well. But you always did prefer coffee, didn't you? Isn't that right? Yes. I would like some coffee. That aside, things sure seem to have gone quite badly for you. Take time to get some peace of mind. Here is your coffee. I brewed it on the harder side. Thank you very much. Is this a dream? Less of a dream, more of a hallucination. Beset by anguish, you collapse inside of Metatron, Johnny's known fanaticism. It probably won't be long before you die. Maybe it's wrong for a doctor like me to make such a guess, though. What you're experiencing now is something like your past flashing before you. As ominous as that sounds. I do not exist. Think of me a simple echo emerging from your memories. I see, so what you're saying is that you're not the doctor. Exactly. You've always been so very bright. Your ability to handle matters is outstanding. Your broad viewpoint is very close to that of a homunculus. Enough of that. I am you. How you imagine romantic recommend. So you know that's why I have furious and ever easygoing attitude going on, right? That's right, you look the same as the person I know so well from our memories. I was a bit hopeful even though I know those happy days have long since disappeared into the past. Why hopeful? Do you want to return to your past self? No, that's not what I meant. The two of you are people-eyed. That would be an honor, but don't speak it. We don't have time. Let's get to the point. Sure, I think I haven't changed in the slightest since then. From how I was back then, instinctively watching the Caudia staff from the bed in my room. You're unusually negative. Oh, maybe you saw a depressing movie last night. You sure have been slacking off in your free time. As I said before, I'm you. Which is why I know that you have changed, that you're different from before. So what do you want to do? What do I want to do? It's clear as day that you're conflicted. Basically, are you going to take up the shield and fight? Yes, I want to, even though it's scary. It's scary being rejected by Galahad shield. But even so, if I have to rise the occasion now, it feels like I'll return to how I was before in my room. You don't have to worry about that, Mash. You can't go back to that room ever again. I can't? You cannot. You don't see everything in the world equally anymore. It doesn't matter who or what they are. Returning you to that room is impossible, unfortunately. Troublesome found it in almost comical fashion. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's a good thing. Which is why I'm smiling, see? What? Humans are beings that try to act equal and fair, but that doesn't mean they are. Some even treat their lives as secondary to others, despite how it ought to be. You could hardly call that equal, right? That's probably not the right choice. That was probably even a bad choice. Being cruelly breeds disparity. Disparity breeds conflict, and conflict breeds war. There's no end to wars in history that have started because we are different from them. Even so, match inequality is a matter of the whole. If an individual was to carry that burden, it wouldn't be suitable to call it inequality anymore. It's okay for you to grieve over somebody else. Say, for example, if you were to loudly exclaim your affection for Masters, Ryuki. Heck, sing it if you want, though I personally wouldn't be able to approve given my position. Taking up arms in protection of those close to you, taking actions to keep true to your inner beliefs. That's the most difficult but also the most powerful way to live. I didn't know that, but you and everyone else in Cadet forced me to learn this lesson. But I'm a demi-servant. Galahad is selflessly dutiful and noble knight. If I want to be his representative, I have to be fair to everything. No, Galahad wasn't fair by any means, otherwise he would never lend you his help. Regardless of why, he walks away from being fair. There's no turning back from that. With that, he lost his fairness, and with it, you gain the freedom to act unequally. You can love anyone you want and be loved in return. There's no issue with that, none whatsoever. But my shield's gaining rust. I've been abandoned by the shield, no, by Galahad. I guess so, that cannot be denied. Galahad sure is uncharitable. But then it's not like you have to use a shield, is it? What? Or are you telling me you only came this far because of the shield? There's not a single person in Korea who thinks that, least of all Yuki, you were able to keep playing because of your own strength. Who cares if the shield has abandoned you? Heck, what do you need that shield for anyway? Just dump it. Be freer, be bolder, Mesh. Don't let the shielder concept to keep you in chains. Using the shield does not mean you lost all your power. That is not how my spirit designed you. Unpleasant enough, the power of demi-servant is what makes you special, and that is inescapable. I know it's hard to accept that deep in your heart, that you're different from others. But you don't need me telling you it's not so bad, depending on how you use it, no? At the very least, your heart still desires to keep on running. My heart. That said, there is one thing I must confirm. Do you remember what Da Vinci told you before? You mean during my explanation after Trump? Exactly. One way or the other, if you ever wish to claim more power than you have now, you'll stop being just a demi. Yes, but right now, power is what I need. Even if my fairness is gone, and the shield shuns me, there are still feelings I have to stick true to. Yes, and what would that be? My desire to protect. I want to use my shield to protect Master Korea, the human order, and human history from all injustice, all enemies. That is why I fight. I fight to protect those next to me. I see how early tried. I saw every single word you said coming. Doctor. Nothing, excuse me. Seems my true colors shone through there. Don't pay it any mind. Your convictions are foolish, but leave no room for argument. You are no longer at the point where your doctors and teachers should meddle with them. You have things you want now, right? So there's no changing your mind. Yeah, I'm sure there isn't. Because I'm Senpai's first servant after all. That was how it all began, and how will it all end. My mind truly do not understand fate. Do you have something to say? Or can I end this on my own? Sure, just one thing. Mash, don't be afraid of dirtying your hands. You should start doing you know what whenever you wish. Don't let the shield rule you. You rule it. You have that right. And at times, you must let go of the shield and take up the sword instead. That is what it means to fight. When you can embody those concepts, you will cease to be a shooter and become something unlike your spirit Galahad. And then your class will be, wait, what do you think? Or would it be... what else? She has been knighted by someone who is the very model of the concept. I mean, after 6 singularity, that's something that I made up in my head. How do you know about it? Did you come up with that wonderful class name for me in secret? Thank you very much. I'll treat very, very careful. Now proclaim it loud and clear. That makes me happy and all, but somehow I feel like I messed up somewhere. Oh, whatever, I guess as your doctor, this is what I would live for anyway. Sound badass when you say it, Mash. Sorry, but it's time we ended this. Don't expect a farewell from me though. I have nothing left to say to you. You should leave this room and go on a journey, as you always wanted. Yes, I will. Wish you the best, Doctor. Also, I always expected you to get along. Even though nobody's pursuing me, I will keep running. I bet that as for as long as I'm alive, I will never stop. And I'm sure that in front of me, and behind me, there's someone running as well. May the story they weave be one that treats them kindly. I run, and as I do, I change. And in fact, I probably changed long ago. They kept protecting me, but I probably also kept protecting them as well. They kept teaching me, but I probably also kept teaching them as well. And that's why I had to return to a place where people are still waiting for me. To tell them that all my sins, my punishment, my atonement, my worries, my pride, and my emotions have shaped me into who I am now. So this isn't the goal, this is the starting line. Now I just have to run it. And sorry, nothing is over for me. And not only that, it's that even started. Are you going? Yes, I protect who I want to and take pride in that bias. Is that so? The me outside is strong, you know. Even if you have awakened to your new class, your chances of winning are low. I will be fine. Chances aren't zero. Because I want to protect the people dear to me, even if it costs me my life. And because of that, you cannot become a ruler. Maintaining fairness is key to the class. In that sense, the outside Metatron Johnny qualifies as more fair than anyone else. In our eyes, prime species, the future of the past are equal. And since those of the past are dead, it is correct to prioritize the future. Because the prime species of the past, humanity went under. And I too agree with her, but on the other hand, I cannot help but feel joy at your growth. I am a spirit close to God, a being bestowed the title of Archangel. In this I find joy in the growth of humans. Now the time has come. Outside me is probably trying to deploy her noble phantasm. It is powerful enough to raise any defense, any beings, no matter what or who they may be. If you wish to protect your companions, then that is what you first have to protect them from. Thank you very much, Metatron. I pray that the shield will be with me. Actually, no, even without the shield. I match Curelite will continue running for her. What? Archangel Metatron, I've broken through your dumb fence, and I will never become a ruler. I see, a shame, a great shame, so you wish to die for your bias. Then you are an enemy of both me and the world. I will eliminate you, disappear together with your master. Try it. Maybe I have become too far removed from the ideals demanded by the shield, unable to maintain my fairness. I failed in becoming an arbiter. The journey I have traveled was not fair. I had to keep picking one thing over the other. And what I chose was Chaldea. I chose pan-human history, and above all else, I chose master. Shield, please come to me once more. No, those aren't the right words. The shield was with me from the very start. Always with me. Hear me, my shield, Okadia. Now is the time for you to show your power. There are regrets in that which wasn't chosen. Let it linger. All choice led to cascade, a mistake, and doubt about it. There's no fairness in battle. You fight for yourself. And all that is dear to you. You reject your opponent. You make mistakes, errors, and regrets. Even if it's not the best choice, and even if it's the worst choice possible, I will attack my opponents, my own violation. Even so, despite it all, I will continue to ponder how to pursue fairness, so that my power to protect, which I have chosen, will one day become the power to protect everything. This shield is not Sir Galahad's shield. They are the shield and sword to secure the future of Kadia. Ash Kurei of the class Shielder Paladin, enter in battle. That ship belongs to Mash Kurei. Mash. Yes, it's me. I'm sorry for being late, but I have just returned. Mash Kurei of the class Shooter Paladin. And I will stand under your command, Master. Paladin Shooter had a higher class? Also, what's going on with your armor? It's completely different now. There's no mere change brought about an increase in sync graph. You're an entirely different servant. If Da Vinci has been watching, she had fallen out of her chair in shock. From the shooter to a paladin, most splendid. You're late, Mash, but I'll allow it. Your glorious return has been long awaited. Thank you, all of you. I see, in that case, I will show no mercy. This time I will make sure no part remains. Myself can be no exception. Instead, I care about you, don't I? Showing caution towards that which could befriend me is natural. You have done well to repel my previous offenses. However, I have near infinite variety of them. Who knows which ones will be effective? I will simply have to test each one by one until it works. You're quite stubborn, naturally. And is that perhaps partially out of anger from my position in the destruction of pan-human history? The alien god is responsible for that. I see no need for why I should feel anger towards you. Besides, I do not believe you assisted the alien god in brushing aside pan-human history. How reassuring. However, that does mean you really weren't aware all this time. Unaware of a basic and fundamental fact that lies at the root of our understanding these circumstances. That's the reason for the discrepancy between us, and the reason for your blunder as well. What are you? Pan-human history has not been destroyed. How do you achieve their objective? It will be brought back to light. That would just mean going back to the bleached earth. The lives that have been lost but not. They will return. In fact, everything would reverse. Indeed, all the way back to pan-human history of 2016. As your chance, Metatronius Law. This time for real. What? Alright guys, it's been fun. See ya. Metatron. Bye. Hi, Your Honor. You'll have to excuse me, but I don't have time to laze around. So let's talk about the end and what comes after it. A solo battle. Let me talk about myself and her. My memories of being summoned are vague. All I know that is since it was an accident. Who could have thought that this is what fate had in store for me? Indeed, this man here is the cause of everything. Are you my master? Are you beat to reach? Huh? No, Oh. I'm an angel. I am power. I am glory. I am throne. I am intendant. I am a defender. I am in gear. I am a watcher. I am a scribe. I am law. Servant John d'Arc. Commencing possession and summoning. Wait, what? Wait. What did you just say? I am power, but that is all. I am a divine spirit, but that is all. However, through your singularity, I have acquired an environment that I am able to rule. An environment you are able to rule. The singularity contained an angel-like person. Beat reach. I have taken the liberty of intruding upon her. The girl you yearn for and revered as an angel is indeed the most potent template in the singular. What? Why are you playing, Yukiro? As I said, I took it all. With Saint John d'Arc as my utter shell, my name of Metron as the core. I used the beach reach as the building materials. Praise be to God. The summoning is nothing short of a miracle. How dare you? This plan has met its end. This plan has stopped it in place. But there is still time if we hurry. We can at least provide one last parting gift. One for the next living beings. We have to give them our remorse, our regards, our grief and our hopes. To that end, this singular is very convenient. The groundwork is already done. Well, what are you trying at? I will create the three worlds anew. Heaven, Purgatory, and Hell, free in total. From there I can preside over the last of humanity, and so we can project our last information and energy into the future. Dante Alighieri, you did well both obtaining the Holy Grail and summoning me. However, I no longer require your power. I will take charge of the group. Oh, how could this be beat reach? As a reward, I grant you permission to reside in Purgatory. Wander and take your joy in life. I pray that you will live peacefully until the end of your days. Don't leave me, please. Don't leave me, please. I'm sure you saw it, Dante. After that, I employed the full power of the Grail to create the three worlds. I judged sins in the Supreme Court and reserved them as information. The day may come when this accounted data will serve the new mankind well, giving every one of them the courage not to sin and the love necessary to atone. I place my hopes in that which will come next. I have no hope in humanity. I won't ever place my hope with humanity. Why? Because I hate. Why? Because they are repentant sinners, of course. Liar, you just hate them. Cease, I do not hate them in the slightest. But you do. Even if I did, those emotions would be that of my other Johnny Arc show. That's very wrong, Metatron. Those are your emotions and nobody else. Science have abandoned sloth. You cannot be here. Judge Johnny d'Arc does not bear resentment. Not even the little bit. She did not even resent the ones who brought her death. The makeup of her mind is unnatural and human. She's in a different dimension compared to us. As such, the hatred we feel is most certainly ours, and nobody else. If you want, you could try releasing the warden John Derek from her chains, and see for yourselves whether that hatred is hers or yours. Enough. What's really the problem here is you. Why did you come here, Slav? And as Cody is out of all things. I thought I'd be some help in court. But what help? In battle, all you provide are mere batteries. And those are worthless against me. You have no value aside of holding my unneeded Slav. Oh, rude, though yeah, you're right. Believe it necessary, I was discarded much, like pan-human history stuff. Do you pity them because they are like you? Maybe, but you know, there's a more simple reason. I have fun, the days I spent with Yuki, the days I spent with them. Those days were certainly nothing grandiose. They were laden with grey skies, all overcast and gloomy, even though they were busy with their own things. They slothfully wasted their time playing games. They forgot their objectives, staring vaguely at the sky above. I think that those days were, both to me and to them, quite fun. But yeah, the sin of sloth exists precisely because you, at some point, have to do something more important. And now that something more important has come. Leave now, and no need for sloth, and besides, if you don't, your individual self would disappear. Are you fine with that happening? I guess I have to answer, I say no, but it is what it is. It's for a purpose that I have lived until now. By becoming one with me, you'll become complete perfect. In the truest sense of the word. You fear me, fear sloth, you fear becoming weaker, never to achieve your objective. You fear that time spent in sloth would wash away your own hatred. But that ends now that you acknowledge the hatred inside of you. Stop it, that will make me imperfect and yet great your incomplete divine spirit at being degrading into imperfection. That was predetermined as soon as you absorbed the 7 deadly sins in singular. Despite wearing the shell of Shandarak, installing the core of Metatron, and filling your contents with beat-reach love, that is unavoidable. That alone made you nothing more, a portsman divine spirit. You needed something more human. Indeed, I needed the 7 deadly sins. By knowing sin, I came to know man as well. And that's where you erred. You tried to hide the passions, the hatred, spawned from that knowledge beneath a cool mask. And then you tried to make that hatred empty by discarding me, sloth. If so, why have you come back here? Wait, could it be? Just as you gaze upon those sinners fan your hatred, or watch humans to fan, fanning sounds a bit weird. Training my sloth. No, how about nurturing? Anyway, watch as they repented their sins and fear. And in spite of it, how they kept going forward. Are you talking about Chaldeas? Yep, being with them was pretty fun. So here's what I thought. I gotta help them at least a little bit. So you come to plead for them. Spare me. You know humans are nothing more than sinners, unable to ever atone for their sins. Disappear. This is my singularity. Guess it's not gonna be that easy, so we gotta fight a bit. Today's the date. I'm finally unlocking it.
罪をあがなうこともできない無意味な生命体、それが人間でしょう。その結論は違う。あなたも理解しているでしょう。いや、成果天罰。問題ありません。一曲どうよ。問題ありません。衆抜棒。炎の柱、焼きたてだよ。問題ありません。ただ炎を。 10の音頭136万5千の祝福、72の翼36万5千の輝く目、一斉攻撃。やる気出ない、おつらい、めんどい。はい、やだ。怠惰返上。我が奇跡を行使し、全てを破壊する。ユニベール・イモルテル・メタトロン。なぜそして恵みの雨となる。サクサクと。どうして怠惰に。どうしてこれは3なんとか。問題ありません。
Sinners are repulsive. Pyramids are awful. Not because they chose without regret, but because they are supposed their regrets and beg for forgiveness. I cannot allow it. I cannot sanction it. If they regret their actions, why did they sin in the first place? These wretched brutes try to sly escape from their own sins. Humans have no worth, and so I cannot allow their existence. That is my conclusion. You have come to the wrong conclusion. And how exactly? You do have a point. People will never turn away from the roots of evil. The progress is slow. It can even regress sometimes. Wasteful souls continue to hurt day after day, blind to the errors of their ways. People often intentionally hinder those better than them. Some brutally trample fools with lethal intent. There's no excusing their weakness, no denying they have it in them. You can see that much. Why do you bother? Because even so, life still has worth. Even if they are beings who cause evil. Even if humans have no worth. Even if their history is filled with nothing but mistakes. So long as they're alive, so long as they can accomplish something with their own two hands, there will always be routes for redemption. But well, what I said just now is just me parodying someone else. Mr. All Black sure has a way to get all the core of life. I mean, you almost think was a born saint or something, or maybe not. Either way, you're not some grand judge at all. I'll say you're not the one who judges, but one who should be judged themselves. Is that what you want to say? I'm sure you're already aware of that yourself. Yes, of course. Each time I headed down judgment, it was as if dregs of doubt built up inside of me. Asking myself, do I really have to judge people? So who am I to criticize the warden, really? Just like they were arbiters who took the sides of Pan Human history. I had to attack Pan Human history out of personal grudge. That is what you want to say, isn't it? Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, reading it was the law and acts of judgment on man doesn't mean there's no feeling involved. It's really impossible for a trial to be conducted through emotions. Of course. I think what lies at the core of all is still the emotion called punishment. The wish for evil to be paid for it as sin, and that's why you don't have to forget that hatred. You should live while enduring it. Isn't that what it's like being human? I should not rid myself of my personal emotion, but endure them. Are you saying that's what it means to be a ruler? Sounds painful and annoying, right? It's why you gotta slack off now and then. Still, to do so, you need to be imperfect. With that, my individual self begins to fade. I was born as sloth. Even though I understood her all along, I found it too bothersome to act on that. Even when Kadia showed up, I just wanted our joyful time together to continue. Rage, envy, and greed are all sins that hurt others. I was the only one who could never do so. And that's why I was the only one who was discarded. The peaceful emotion that exists at the core of sloth, or the polar opposite of the judge hatred. But with this, that too is over. Even though I wanted to watch over Kadia's master just a little bit more. Even though I wanted to spend time together with him lazing around, doing whatever a little bit more. I have so much I still wanted to do. So much I pressed Canadian on. Maybe if I tried a bit harder, I could experience more. But I can't try that hard. I can't muster the energy to get up. Wait, no, that's just an excuse. Having no particular reason to do nothing. That's the true essence of sloth, and why it's a sin. So these countless which I won't get to fulfill are simply my punishment. This is what you should have done from the start. That's not true, my sloth self. It's because of your nature that I was able to make it to the court. It's because you're here now that I can hand down a judgment not clouded by my emotions. I wonder if you will laugh at my judgment. Perhaps you will nitpick it. Or maybe you will simply worry yourself, ragged for your beloved Chaldeans. I better go, the trial is still in progress. We only managed to do 2 chapters. And it's midnight.